BRICS was once just a fancy acronym. Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa's polite club. An economic alliance. A group that smiled for summit photos and released predictable statements. But this week, on July 6th and 7th, BRICS held its 17th annual summit in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. And the mood was not polite anymore. This time, BRICS didn't just expand it escalated. It mutated into a power bloc, a currency challenger, and a quiet rebellion against the dominance of the West. And now, right on the cue, the United States under President Donald Trump has officially responded. Not with diplomacy, but with tariff. Like, nothing says threat detected like an extra 10% tax. This year's summit held under the banner Strengthening Global South Cooperation for More Inclusive and Sustainable Governance. Sounds very gentle, right? But in the language of geopolitics, that's basically saying we are tired of Western monopoly. We'll build our own rules now. And that's exactly what's happening. At this very moment, the BRICS table includes not 5 but 11 members. Egypt, Saudi Arabia, Iran, Indonesia, and Ethiopia have joined. Meanwhile, Bolivia, Belarus, Kazakhstan, Cuba, Nigeria, Malaysia, Thailand, Vietnam, Uganda, and Uzbekistan were welcomed as BRICS partners. And let me tell you, the countries joined aren't small players. They bring oil, money, manpower, and their own regional weight. BRICS now together holds more than 45% of world population, 37.3% of global GDP, and this is key, more than 44% of crude oil production. We are also discussing trade in local currencies. India is already buying Russian oil in rupees. China is already trading with Saudi Arabia and yuan. And now BRICS is discussing an alternative for the SWIFT system, the very backbone of global dollar transactions. Translation? They aren't shouting it from rooftops. They're slowly sidelining the US dollar. And that triggered a very familiar reaction from Washington. On the same day the BRICS summit began, US President Donald Trump, the 2025 Republican frontrunner, has posted a message on his platform Truth Social. He called BRICS summit an anti-American economic axis and announced extra 10% tax on all the nations supporting its policies. And he wasn't lying. Trade letters are immediately sent out to countries like Egypt, South Africa, and yes, even India. And almost instantly, the financial world reacted. The South African rand dropped by 1%. The global markets took note, and back inside the Rio summit, the peaceful diplomacy turned into a crisis room. And now India finds itself in a tight spot. Because India isn't just a BRICS member, it's also a Quad member, a major partner in Indo-Pacific dialogues, and a growing friend of West. India maintains strategic ties with Russia, energy relations with Gulf states, and a delicate balance with China. So when Trump says no exceptions, India is being asked, not directly but clearly, to choose. But here's the thing, India isn't choosing sides, it's choosing strategy. Because sometimes the smartest move on the global chessboard is not moving at all. On the other hand, we know that India is in talks with the United States aiming to finalize a trade deal before August deadline, a possible pathway to sidestep the extra tariff. Back inside the Rio summits, the BRIC agendas flowed flawlessly. Discussions on AI, climatic policies, UN reforms, economic restructuring, everything. But the room knew, the real issue on everyone's mind was what this summit represented. A major shift in how power is being distributed and who's controlling the narrative. And this is what West fears. Not wars, not weapons, but this quiet coordination. A coalition that doesn't scream rebellion, but whispers replacement. So the next time you hear someone say BRICS summit is just another photo op, remind them, photo ops don't challenge dollar dominance, photo ops don't trigger global tariffs, and photo ops don't send stock markets jittering. But this summit did. This week in Rio, BRICS didn't just held a meeting, it held up a mirror. And the West, for the first time in decades, didn't like what it saw.